there is or are God. Copernican revolution, but there is a middle ground also, in that if God did not exist as a separate being and creator or cause of the world, then maybe God is created by humanity rather than humanity being created by God. So if we prove that we are immortal, as Spinoza argued, then God exists if we are gods, and some geniuses or super geniuses are our leaders, and we need only strengthen his proof of the existence of God by adding our list of 1,000 ways of proving the existence of God. Really, 20 years ago I gave a proof of a better foundation for Spinoza's system. Oh God, that's it. It's the perfect mind. So in a similar way to proving that the other mind is free, you can prove other qualities or perfections of other minds and show that it's the ideal mind in some case, in one case, or in one case, since the series may originate in that case in God himself, and thus you prove that God exists and his nature. The key is that some series or appearances go beyond the mind and into the world and continue beyond it till you find the origin in the mind of God himself. And that God is an intellectual being for Aristotle and many other later philosophers, a kind of definition of God. Indeed, Maimonides said that many philosophers saw God as an intellectual subject, and the intellect and the intellectually cognized object, all forming one simple notion. Adding to this, that this is beyond our comprehension really. Maimonides and St. Thomas Aquinas and Spinoza and others also saw God as an intellectual substance, and so do I. Since God is the ruler of the world and he requires vast knowledge and incredible problem-solving skills, indeed there are still problems today that even our greatest super geniuses fail to solve in thousands of years of struggle. So for the next 1,000 years, try to collect evidence that God uses the 200 or 300 super methods of reasoning that I listed, or the 2,000 methods of reasoning that I listed so far, since different people use a few of these methods in different professions or jobs, and the different causal series that arise from God must reveal these super methods of reasoning, though at times God uses more complex reasoning than we do. So collect this evidence till you know God, or at least have enough evidence to prove that the cause of these effects is a being that is superior to us human beings in intelligence. And this may indeed be the case if God is really our ruler or king or God, or if God is the ideal mind or supreme mind or the perfect being. Oh God, world record. I created the longest proof of God in history. I just made the proof of God very, very long. I need all the super methods of reasoning I listed, over 300, and I used Kant's philosophy and criticized it and went beyond it. I used Einstein's science and went beyond it. I used the philosophy of Aristotle, Maimonides, and we went beyond it. And also used the philosophy of Spinoza and St. Thomas Aquinas and St. Augustine and so on. See hundreds of pages on the methods and super methods of reasoning I created. Oh God, world record. I also created the largest variety of proofs for the existence of God in history, exclamation mark. I listed about 1,000 ways of proving the existence of God for you to choose from. This is proof around 794. And I helped to actually define the nature of God as well. I have about hundreds of attributes of God. See also my notes on those super geniuses of philosophy and science. See also my notes on Gene Roddenberry's Empire and Olivia Newton-John's Theory of Love, or the Description of Paradise. Now this is the end of proof 794 of God. God, I don't know if I prove free will. Can't argue we cannot prove if there is free will. But I think I added a step to it. But anyway, that was one proof. If free will is possible, it's necessary for religion. So if free will is possible, that's in a way it's a miracle. If free will is possible, then that in itself makes the world a miraculous place. And it makes religion possible, so it makes you wonder if there is a God. So that suggests there is. If there is no free will, then there is no religion, can't have a God. It will be all automatons. Religion will be impossible. Maimonides says that if creation was possible, we can prove creation, then all the miracles would be possible. At one point he said that resurrection of the dead will be the greatest miracle. He said that in the Mishnah Torah. When the God of the Perplexed, he said the creation of the world is the greatest miracle. If the world was eternal, according to the way that Aristotle saw it, then all miracles would be impossible. In fact, he also said that 3 religions believe that the world was created. And that's important. And I think the Islamic theologians use creation as a way of proving the existence of God. There might be 3 major there's the basic philosophy of Aristotle. There might be 3 basic works on metaphysics, a higher level, higher than using Aristotle and other works. Could be from Maimonides, the God of the Perplexed, and Averroes, Incoherence of the Incoherence, criticized Ghazali's book, and Aquinas, Summa Theologica. Spinoza, like Descartes, seems to only include very simple, self-evident proofs. I'm not sure, but that's what it seems. He ignored all the problems. Spinoza also seems to have ignored all the problems. He created a system influenced by Descartes a lot. I don't know if he is also more too simple. I don't know. But I thought Kant also ignored all of the problems of ancient and medieval philosophy, which was the most productive, really, contrary to what they say. But I thought he only attacked it indirectly. But he also attacked it partly directly. In modern times, I think there's Wolfson, Gilson, and Van Berth, who actually, for example, who consider the medieval time. I think we have to reconsider all these medieval works and ancient Aristotle and fix them. It's like when you have a computer program, if something wrong with it, you don't throw it away. You bring it and revise it and improve it. So I don't think you have to just throw away Aristotle, Maimonides, Averroes, and Aquinas. I think you have to improve them. Or when a car is broken, you try and fix it, or you try and even make it better. Don't throw it away. Don't try from scratch. In a way, I think that's what Descartes tried to do, is try from scratch. I think he tried from scratch. Okay, I think that's about 794. I read a bit fast and